In the fall of 2009, I was given an assignment. I had to write a speech and present it in front of my class. I ended up going with the Olympic Winter Games as my topic. The 2010 Olympics were just around the corner and were gonna happen in my home country, so it was a relevant time to tackle the subject. Plus, I could easily nab info from Wikipedia for this topic. However, those weren't the main reasons why I chose to write my speech about the Winter Games. This was.
At the Olympic Winter Games!
Mario and Sonic Visit Canada is a good game, and that's not just because of my Canadian bias. The Wii version is a stellar collection of winter sports minigames that definitely blends the sterile mass appeal of the Olympics with the fantastical whimsy of both featured franchises to create an experience that's way better than the series' previous entry. It's been over 15 years since this winter classic was released, and about a decade since I last played it myself. It's high time I examine what made this game so special back then and see whether or not it's still worth playing all these years later. I'll also take a quick look at the DS version, though I have no rose-tinted memories of this version like I do with its Wii counterpart. Regardless, let's dive into what made Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games the pinnacle of this crossover franchise's wintery entries. The festival mode is basically all because of the festival mode. The festival?
Yeah, to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Mario and Sonic's visit to Canada, we're gonna throw a big festival. We got all sorts of fun attractions to try. Egg hole, Chaos Emerald toss, pin the tails, make your own Mario game. But the main event of tonight's festivities? You, boy! Remember that speech you made back in 2009? I want you to give that speech again.
Why? It was a terribly written piece whose blatant plagiarism and lack of deeper meaning were masked by juvenile charm and the purpose of learning through experience.
It was good enough for you to win a medal though, right? It doesn't matter. The speech is still good enough in my opinion to present nowadays. You do still have a copy of it, right?
It's not solely the festival mode that makes Mario and Sonic Invade Vancouver a fun time, but it is the inarguable centerpiece of the entire experience. A simulation of the Winter Olympic Games spread over the span of 16 in-game days, where you'll train and compete in authentic Olympic sporting events to earn medals in a bid for supremacy. You can vie for glory on your own, or team up with your own band of misfits. This right here, this is why the 2010 game far exceeds the 2008 game in almost every regard. I've already talked about Mario and Sonic at the 2008 Olympic Games in a past Remember series video. Don't watch it, it's very mid. So instead, I'll outline my biggest gripe with the game right here. 2008's minigames were too simplistic and did not feel substantial. The controls were tiresome, and there was really no reason to play the minigames for longer than 15 minutes unless you wanted to set some meaningless records. Despite what the former VP of marketing at Sega of America said, the original Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games ultimately did feel like a minigame fest with nothing else to tie the whole package together. While the minigames in 2010 are more intuitive and tolerable than 2008's Gimmick Fest, they're still just that at the end of the day. Minigames. But that's where the festival mode comes in. Do well in the minigames and you'll earn medals to climb the festival leaderboards. The minigames are not the only main draw anymore, and that helps immensely in making them seem more worthwhile than before. It's sort of like how the minigames in Mario Party serve to provide advantages on the game board. You're not just chasing high scores anymore, you're chasing something greater. Glory. Virtual glory. The festival mode is also why Mario and Sonic 2010 isn't just a better overall video game than 2008, but a better Olympic sports experience. Doing training events, tracking your medal count, spreading the process over several in-game days, you're basically partaking in an abridged version of the real Olympics, which helps make all this theming feel much more immersive and memorable. Mario and Sonic Get Frostbite managed to make me care, even for a short time, about the history and the grandness of the entire Winter Olympic spectacle, which is a feat in and of itself given I was an elementary schooler back then and 95% of my brain was dedicated to Pokemon. This game was my obsession for a good while in the early 2010s. There was just so much I loved about it. I loved how most of the original music tracks use these bells that make being in Canada sound way more epic than it actually is. I loved how there's 2 break days in the festival schedule where you're allowed to visit the Olympic Village. It's a nice immersive touch. I love the rival system where every few days an enemy character would crash the festival and challenge you to a winter sports duel. These rival events are a great way to add some variety to the usual schedule, but conceptually, they're hilarious. It's like every 2 or 3 days you're approached by the ghost of Marvel and challenged to a snowboarding race or something. Also, for some reason, King Boo shows up twice in the individual festival. Damn, one time wasn't enough? You want to run it back and get waxed again, tongue boy? bring it on! I do have some gripes with festival mode. For one, the training events are immersive, but I do not want to replay them in subsequent playthroughs. Just give me the events that actually earn me medals. Also, the CPUs are way too easy. You can run the table with ease, and many of the rivals can be swept up and dusted with little effort. Except the dry boneses, those bony little shits know how to sweep a rock. This game would really benefit from multiple difficulty settings. It would certainly help with its overall lackluster replay value, but hey, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games managed to overcome its predecessor's biggest issue by providing an immersive game mode that makes its improved minigames feel all the more substantial. Let's talk a bit more about how the minigames play. They feel much better than in the previous Mario and Sonic entry thanks to more intuitive controls, less excessive swinging motions or usage of the dog water Wii pointer. The result is a much more balanced offering of solid, authentic Olympic sports. And crack cocaine. In addition to the aforementioned traditional events, there's dream events, which inject a Mario or Sonic flair and introduce additional game mechanics to remix and refresh the experience. Pretty much all the dream events are vibrant, whimsical bangers that are different enough from their original Olympic counterparts to stand proud on their own. There's so many cool events to highlight. Dream ski cross at a snow-blanketed Mario circuit, dream ice hockey at Bowser's crib, dream snowboarding on Radical Highway where you can accidentally rail grind the wrong way. Wait a minute. Hey guys. Okay, I'll just hop off here and hopefully this didn't ruin my run. Okay, at least the game didn't rub it in. Not one, but two Dream figure skating events, one themed after Mario and one for Sonic. The Sonic one is way cooler though, plus fully original events like the fan favorite Dream Snowball Fight and Dream Gliding. That is not a winter sport. Oh well, it doesn't matter because Dream events rock. They do a splendid job of adding variety to both the festival mode and the overall package. Also, they're handled much better than in the 2008 game, where Dream events felt less inspired and more sterile, like a corporate party. Yeah, there was still cocaine there, but it didn't hit nearly as hard. The improved list of minigames is particularly important for Mario and Sonic Tri-Poutine because of the 3 brand new party games. And they are all mid. There was no substance in my old speech. I basically listed a Wikipedia sourced history of the games, then briefly touched on each event before basically ending with the 2009 equivalent of, so yeah, that's it.
Has much changed since then? I'm joking. Listen, not everything has to have deeper meaning or profound substance. What matters is the soul that you put into your work and the earnest enthusiasm that you put into your delivery. If the people see that you care about something, chances are they might as well.
I guess you're right.
Of course I'm right. I haven't faced left all video. As long as you present something and put your heart into it, the people will resonate with it.
So if I asked the audience to help me demonstrate Mario and Sonic the Olympic Winter Games' party mode, they'd agree?
No.
In Balloon Attack, placing well in the minigames grants you more shots to pop balloons with, and thus more opportunities to score points. This one is nothing to write home about. In Wheel Challenge, a wheel is spun to determine the leader. Whoever beats the leader steals points from them, while the leader themselves can earn points by placing better than the other players. I like this one. There's immense potential for toxicity here. Finally, there's Panel Flip. You want to try to cover the grid with your team's color, and you earn more steps to cover the grid with by winning minigames. You can choose to burn all of your movement in one turn, or pass them on to your teammate. The additional layer of strategy involved in this party game is quite entertaining, although the point swings can be really harsh. The party games in general are a cool addition to have, but they don't ultimately have a lot of staying power, arguably even less in the shopping aspect. Welcome to Olympic Village. It isn't just a spot to watch characters absolutely hightail it, it's a lively place where you can spend your hard-earned in-game currency on all sorts of interesting unlockables. Finally, a Canadian currency that has value. You can buy clothes for your Miis to wear, and customize your equipment with the drippiest decals you can imagine. Check out my pimped out snowboard. Other unlockables include historic Olympic trivia, remixes of iconic Mario and Sonic music tracks, and statues to place all around the village. The trivia in particular is nice, not only because unlocking cool Olympic facts in this game is far more intuitive than how it was done in the 2008 game.
All right. What the hell is this?
But because this trivia section was basically 50% of that speech I wrote in 2009. Seriously, if I had to cite my sources for that speech, it would have just been this game and Wikipedia. Overall, the Wii version of Mario and Sonic Eat Beaver Tails is a joyful experience that represents the Olympics well, while also providing a solid winter sports minigame collection with plenty of charming extras to indulge in. The game's replay value is a bit shaky, but hey, just wait a decade like I did, and you'll find it as fresh as the first playthrough.
Here we go, a 2009 speech speech in 2024. Knock 'em dead.
Thanks, I added a bit about the Wii game to the speech to make it fit more, but the rest should be faithful to what I remember of it.
What about the DS game?
Oh shit! Oh right, this thing exists! I'm kidding. The portable version of Mario and Sonic at the 2010 Olympic Games has a surprisingly devoted subset of nostalgic fans, and I can see why. The DS version's claim to fame is an exclusive story mode where you have to save snow spirits from the nefarious grasp of Bowser and Eggman, who plan to melt all the snow for some reason. You'll travel between multiple original locales, recruit iconic Mario and Sonic characters along the way, and compete in challenges based around the sporting events. You can also unlock Olympic trivia and Mario or Sonic trivia by exploring the world, although some of this trivia is on the same tier as people die when they are killed. While there is an undeniable charm to the whole affair, the DS version of Mario and Sonic by Bagged Milk is not nearly as worthwhile a revisit as its Wii counterpart. And this is coming from someone that thought the 2008 DS game was better than the 2008 Wii game. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games for DS is wildly inconsistent in quality. Some of the mini games are imaginative and endearing, while others play like garbage thanks to piss poor controls. The story mode is a neat idea, but in execution it's not really that engaging since the challenges are all over the place in terms of both interest in content and difficulty. Also, Dream Halfpipe is a fucking awful event. I don't really have much else to say about the DS version. It's a fine game with decent production for a portable Olympic tie-in game, but nothing much else beyond that. Unlike the Wii version, which still makes for a decent Mario Party substitute, the DS version doesn't carry as much value nowadays, besides its story mode, which itself is nothing special. But hey, did you know that people die when they are? The Wii version of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games is a delightful collection of winter sports minigames that still holds up pretty well. There's some legitimate reasons to still bust this game out at present day get together, but putting aside my rose tinted glasses for a sec, there's unfortunately little in the way of replay value, and the festival mode I've spent this whole video glazing is held back by its piece of cake difficulty. The DS version is quirky and charming as an artifact of its time, but it doesn't really warrant a revisit unless you have pre-existing nostalgia. Its story mode and other handheld quirks are not nearly enough to offset an otherwise okay offering. Still, the games individually are cheaper than a Timmy's sandwich, so pick them up if you feel the urge. You'll get to experience a bit of that Canadian winter magic as it was back in 2010, when everything was just a bit simpler. Am I right? Like, everything's just so expensive now. Anyways, let's get on to the part of the speech that I wrote back in 2009. Yeah, I lost the file.